recut afterwards.
Jesus. There's no light outside. Welcome back to a new video brought to you by the Spadone Project. Here is Nick and Julian. Today we are in Museum Lucerne and we want to talk about these really interesting shields. We have one here and the second one we will check in minutes. These are supposedly shields coming from the Battle of Giornico, fought between some Swiss cantons forces and the Visconti of Milan in 1478, correct, if I remember correctly. And so the Milanese were brutally defeated, apparently, and the part of the loot brought home by the Swiss were some of the shield of the soldiers of Milan. And these are two of a large group. I don't remember how many.
So in Lucerne, in the museum once were 22, or reported 22. As far as I know, I don't know how true this is, these were hung in the Curia of the city under the roof, so visible for quite a long time. And then at some point they decided to take them off, so they were not held in the best conditions for a long time.
And we can see,
but some of them have really still a very nice, you see everything on this, these stars,
yes,
the blue, quite beautiful. The diameter of these is around 60 centimeters and thickness about 12 to 15 millimeters, so not very thin but not very thick, and quite the same thickness all over, which is interesting because we have a lot of other shield types where it differs.
Seem pretty plain.
Pretty plain.
It's like almost a table surface is not.
Absolutely. There is leather, and you see that it has been put over the edge
around
and nailed. On the back, it continues. I try to show you.
Yes.
You have all the rest of the handle or the Handhabe. There's some leather left, filled with hair. We do not see on this shield where the straps were fixed, but for that I got the other shield. These, as we had pointed out, seem to not have been domed. Most of them kept here do not look like it, but then they have been outside for quite a long time. So hard to tell how the original shape was, but they look quite plain, I have to say. Interesting is all the different motifs we have on them. From love scenes to animals to crests, mottos, everything. Pretty nice.
Yeah, I can recognize some decorative motifs I've seen in the Castle of Milan, in some personal cases for wardrobe cases of the nobility.
And on the ceiling, I think, when you went to
maybe something. So
yes.
It has the kind of vibe and look of fashion of the last decades of the 15th century in Italy. I just have in my mind some paintings like Carpaccio, that kind of North Italy artist, and the fashion have this kind of waves and chess-like different colors. It's really interesting. I just wonder what's the color of the inner parts, if it's some dark green or is it black?
Blue, like there is, or at least it seemed to have been blue or was interpreted as that. There is an album of somebody that painted all the shields that he saw. It's from 1868, I think. This album is also kept here in the museum. There you see them in quite nice, bright colors. He did aquarels and other drawings of them. I would say it was a blue. And of course it fits again. Stars and blue are also very common in medieval
makes sense. A sky with stars.
Yeah, or Mother Mary always, you see the blue.
Even in churches.
Yes, exactly. So this is not uncommon.
Let's check the second one.
Yes, the second one now is domed. And maybe intentional, it's quite evenly domed at least. On the front you probably don't see so much, but you see the nails that are protruding from the back, like if you look in the middle.
Yes.
Yes.
Here is one.
So they
Here's
start on the
something,
other
yeah.
side, go through, and were hammered aside. And these are for fixing the straps. We see quite clearly where this leather filled with hair wool was that we saw on the other shield.
Yes. This area here.
And
Different
here,
color.
yeah, we have nails with quite a thick diameter. Some rests of leather even here. So you had 2 points of fixing on the arm, so they are not held like bucklers. It's like, yeah, it's a rotella.
Yes, basically.
It is.
I would say.
Fixed on the arm.
So this is one. You say this is one of the part where the shield was hanged.
Yes. Here you see it even more because they have put in some protection to not split it further. But yeah, these look like there have been nails through it to hang. There are other shields in the collection that I saw hanging in the museum where you actually see battle damage. Like cuts from weapons. You have this tip of spear or halberd, like triangular or rectangular rhomboid hits. The leather was fixed with a lot of small nails around. I don't know how well you can see that were hammered down. Yeah, they're very interesting, and it's amazing that there are still so many of these. And yeah, Lucerne has still most of them, and Lucerne was one of the main force fighting the battle.
I saw also here there's some tissue.
This looks more like a later fix, maybe. It's mostly just says leather and wood. Sometimes I have the feeling there might have been something else as well, but overall would agree. Yeah.
What can we say maybe about the decoration in front is really darker and
it's a
if
crest,
compared, yeah, of course,
shield.
there's a shield. Here on the outer circle
yes,
there
exactly.
are some
words.
Yes.
Do you want to try?
Here.
I saw it.
FAC.
So, fac bonum, do good. And then here says, on this side says et noli, and like do not or do not want to timere. Do not fear. So do good, but do not fear, kind of. Latin.
Then also some lettering here, STCA. There's a star, like the stars of the first one, 2 lions.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be interesting to check what crest this is.
The person that made the album, I really just forgot his name. He has
written.
If you found it out, they are written. Yeah, I always wanted to look at these because if you're Swiss and history, then you heard of this battle. And if you travel to Italy, you pass it, the place. So really nice to see them up close. The doming I measured, if you would place some plane, and from the middle is just 38 millimeters, so it's not much. And the thickness is like the other one, between 15 in the middle to 12 on the edge. And I think that is all I would have to say about this.
Very cool. Okay, so thank you. If you want, you can subscribe to our YouTube page. And also, if you want, you can support the project with some money every month on our Patreon page. You find the links in the description. That's it. Thank you for watching and see you with the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.